Joe Russell with the front line with Joe and Joe. Once again, let us go into the breach. Chaos erupts outside the Liberal Party caucus retreat where protesters with F. Trudeau flags are arrested and beaten. Play the clip.
Hey, record it. Keep recording. Keep recording. Keep recording. Junior. Hey. Get back. Hey. Stay back. Let's go to the back. Fucking tough guy. I won't be okay. Don't fucking touch me. Don't fucking touch me. That's the assault. No, you tell me what the fuck you do. Don't tell me what the fuck you do. You want to touch me again? You're going to get charged. I'm an advocate in this city. You don't touch me. I know my rights. Don't fucking talk. Don't fucking tell me nothing. You are a disgusting woman! Touch me again, I fucking dare you. You touch him again and I guarantee people are jumping. That was fucking fun, man. Hey, fucking touch me, man. No, you don't touch me. No, you guys fucking provoked this, eh? You provoked this. You guys come onto the fucking street to us. Come on. You provoked it. Oh, look at it. Record it, everybody. Record it. Record it. Just keep punching. It's gonna get fucking bad out here. Look at that. Fuck you!
You know what I have to do. Oh, Canada. Justin Trudeau travels with an entourage. It's a small army to protect him against who? The very people he says he serves. Play the clip. Oh, yes, Justin is a man of the people. Can you feel the love? Trudeau echoes the same line that Jagmeet spews out to the people. It's the corporation's fault that food prices are so high. Play the clip.
It's not okay that our biggest grocery stores are making record profits while Canadians are struggling to put food on the table. So Minister Champagne will be calling on the heads of large grocers to come to Ottawa with a plan to address the rising cost of food. And we expect to hear from them by Thanksgiving on what their plan is to stabilize prices. And let me be very clear. If their plan doesn't provide real relief for the middle class and people working hard to join it, then we will take further action, and we are not ruling anything out, including tax measures.
Justin, how about you stop spending money that you don't have, i.e. printing it, and axe the tax? Oh, that has nothing to do with the cost of high food prices. But then again, you could afford it. Canadian industry minister says if the people fail to act, there will be consequences. Papers, please. Papers. Play the clip.
Listen, exactly as you said. So the big five represent 80% of the market. And the reason why we want to sit with them exactly because they're not exactly in the same position in the market. As you know, Loblaws is far more integrated than some of the others. So there's not like necessarily one solution fit all. But the demand that we're going to put, and obviously they heard from the Prime Minister, and the invitation has been sent already. It's not an invitation. We told them to be another one next week. That's pretty clear. And we're going to be working with them. And you heard from now to Thanksgiving, we want to see meaningful action that are going to be taken. And the Prime Minister has been very clear, and I talked to the Minister of Finance. You know, if they fail to act, there will be consequences. But we'll give them a chance. You've seen me on the telco side. We're going to take the same model. We're going to bring them in Ottawa, talk to them around meaningful action, and if they fail to do so, there'll be consequences.
That sounds to me like a threat. What do you think? Put your comments in the chat. An impassioned plea from the streets of New York. This guy gets it. Listen up, Canada. This applies to you, too.
This is up to us. This is up to each and every one of us to stand up. Nobody's coming here for us.
Right.
We're here for ourselves. If we don't get up and fight for our city, nobody's coming for us. They're coming to destroy it. The reason why they're here is to steal our votes.
Right.
We're not going to be able to live. They're stealing our votes, our kids' future, my birthright, our United States, this great city that I refuse to leave. Do you understand? Nobody's coming for us. These elected officials aren't even elected. They're using absentee ballots. They're being selected.
And they're operating without.
What did you think that AOC?
Ultimately, the open border policies of Canada and America are helping no one. They're not helping the immigrant because they have no plan for them. They're here for one reason and one reason only, and that guy gets it, and it's happening in plain sight, to vote for the progressive left. That is why they opened the border. Do you get it? And frankly, if you do get it, you should do something about it because we're not helping these people. They're coming in to a country, i.e. Canada and America, and they're getting no aid. No aid. In many cases, they're going from one bad place into another bad place for one reason and one reason only: political gain. Jagmeet Singh thinks the Canadian people are stupid. Play the clip.
You won't believe the news that I read today. Sobeys, one of the large corporate grocery stores in Canada, just posted a 52% increase in profits in the first quarter on food alone. Now, this comes as no surprise, as Canadians have felt the impact of high grocery prices. While people are experiencing this real struggle, Justin Trudeau says that Canadians are grumbling. Well, they got a lot to grumble about. These greedy CEOs are posting record profits while Canadians are having the hardest time ever to buy their groceries. But what we have to do is take on the corporate greed that is driving up the cost of food. That is a major driver. But here's the problem. We know that Justin Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre are going to back up their big money donors. They're not going to want to take them on. When we called the CEOs of these corporate grocery stores, we summoned them to Parliament. We called them to Parliament. Neither Justin Trudeau or Pierre Poilievre showed up. And so we're going to do something about it. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to introduce a law that's going to take on the gouging that's going on by these corporate grocery stores. And if this law passes, and it will only pass if Justin Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre support it, if it passes, it will bring down the cost of food. The challenge is to see, will the Liberals and the Conservatives, will Justin Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre actually back us up and back you and your families up?
I love how the progressive left always points to the corporation. Are they completely innocent? Of course they're not. They're taking advantage of a situation created by the progressive left. The carbon taxes, the increase in everything, a lot of it has to do with, one, you printed money that you didn't have, i.e. inflation, and two, you stopped oil production, which affects everything, including the price of food. If you didn't do that, the corporations would have nothing to exploit. You are the source of the problem. Yet Jagmeet continues on and on and on and points away from the source of the problem. And what the source of the problem is, Jagmeet? You and your buddy Trudeau. Get it through your head. Yet people believe what this dude says. Know why? Because the mainstream media continues to beat the drum because they are the enemy of the Canadian people.
What's going on, everybody? As I always do, I've uncovered some more very disturbing information regarding the climate change tyrannical agenda. The UK has created what they are calling an SAF. Now, SAF is Sustainable Aviation Fuel Mandate for the UK. So they are going to mandate a certain amount of fuel used a year for all air travel. It has to be sustainable aviation fuel, green sourced, good for the environment. Of course, this fuel costs more than twice as much as normal jet fuel, which is going to make your travel virtually twice as expensive because the largest cost for aviation is the fuel. So now, to make sure you can't fly, they are going to make mandates for SAF, or Sustainable Aviation Fuel, all over the world, which is going to make every flight exponentially more expensive, meaning you're going to be flying a hell of a lot less. More ways they're taking away your freedoms and stealing your money under the guise of fighting climate change. But I'm sure many of you will welcome this and just say, oh, we don't need to go on vacation anymore. We don't need to drive a car. We don't need to eat meat. We don't need to have a house. We don't need anything. We could just live in the forest, or we can live in a jail cell. Why not? So check out this link from our wonderful corporate friends that are 100% complicit in trying to lock us down and take away our rights. Click the link. It's West 49 store locator. And it has now been updated. I think someone put the update in a few weeks early to tell you that since many parts of Canada have now gone back into lockdown, you need to search the store locator to see which one of their stores are actually open. This is combined with people telling me they got kicked out of clinics, people telling me they got kicked out of stores, people telling me they have stores that are telling them how many people are only allowed in the store, one person per household. It's all coming back, and they are doing it under the radar. They are not announcing it on TV. They are just getting all of their corporate partners to slowly implement the policies as if we were already back on lockdown. Wake the fuck up.
Intellectual Thomas Sowell discusses his latest book, Social Justice Fallacies and the Consequences of Seeking Group Equality. Play the clip.
After growing up in Harlem, Thomas Sowell served in the United States Marine Corps, then received an undergraduate degree from Harvard, a master's degree from Columbia, a doctorate from the University of Chicago. After teaching at universities that included Cornell, Brandeis, and UCLA, Dr. Sowell became a fellow at the Hoover Institution in 1977. Thomas Sowell is the author of some 40 books, including his newest volume, Social Justice Fallacies. And this past spring, he turned 93. Social justice. Dr. Martin Luther King in 1963, quote, I have a dream.
My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
And you write, Dr. King's message was equal opportunity for individuals, regardless of race. In the years that followed, the goal changed to equal outcomes for groups. What now rose to dominance was the social justice agenda. If the social justice, those backing the social justice agenda could have everything they wanted, what would the country look like?
We'd be killing each other.
Ultimately, socialism does not work. I'm going to tell you what does work. Capitalism with moral boundaries. When you have a people that have a belief in God, let's call it for political correct purposes, a higher power, that come from a stable home, a mom and a dad, that are raised with values and virtues. Guess what? When people have businesses, they take a profit, They share, they treat people with equality, and they're decent citizens. When you don't have a people that believes in a higher power, i.e., they don't believe in God, they come from broken homes, they have children outside of wedlock, fathers leave their families, you have a wounded people that does not value virtues, they value vices. And that's why people are looking to the state. They're looking for a sugar daddy. Let the government take care of me. I got news for you. The government's not going to take care of you.
Securing your data privacy is more important than ever. Start your free privacy scan and see how much of your data is being sold on the internet. Offering data breach monitoring, bulk data removal, and agency protection, DataSeal.io is the best and most affordable way to secure your data from ending up in the wrong hands. Remove your data today from the internet with DataSeal.io. That's DataSeal.io.